You're tuned in to the Profit and Growth Hour here on Wdrbmedia,
the voice of the community.
I am Dr. Bizness.
And I'm your one and only Lady G.U.N.S, which means I am greatness under no stipulation.
We're so glad that you have tuned in to this another Profit and Growth segment where we always look to give you something for your head, something for your heart, and something for your hands to do. We're intelligent people, so we want to make sure that you get the right information, but then we feel, we emote, we're passionate about some things, and we need to be able to share those feelings. But then there are deliverables and homework assignments and takeaways. Put your hands to the gospel plow so that you might be able to have your tomorrow be better than your today. In the studio, was that a whip?
That was the gospel plow. That mule.
Oh.
One hand on a plow, you gotta whip that mule, make it, that ox. Make it move.
Just say go.
That don't work.
It don't?
No.
Why not?
Have you ever tried to
I have never.
Exactly.
Right.
And when you do, for the first time, don't say go.
Don't say go. It ain't gonna work.
It ain't gonna work.
But that's what...
Ox don't speak go
supposed to.
English. You have to...
You gotta whip it? Really?
You gotta...
I thought that was just...
That's even with horses. Hiya. You don't say go.
Oh.
You say giddy up. You say hiya. There's no go.
I just thought you...
That's what you tell kids.
Tell kids go. Okay.
Go.
Oh.
That happens.
Oh, okay.
You still have to whip them. That's a combination.
So is there somebody you don't have to whip? I'm just figuring that seems to be a thing. Whip everybody in order for them to go. Just whip them.
No, just go.
Whip them good.
No, whip them into shape.
Also joining us here in the studio is...
Crystyles from Exerta Radio.
Yes.
What time does Exerta Radio air?
Exerta Radio airs every Thursday, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Excellent.
And joining us is...
Miss Maine from Everything Real Radio. And Everything Real Radio airs every Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Everything real.
Yes.
The conversation is real.
Yes, everything's real.
People are real.
People are real. Topics are real.
You obviously won't be interviewing any women then.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
He said that with 3 of us on the mic.
That's because women typically aren't authentically real.
Oh.
Yeah. I was with a woman yesterday. She had hazel, fake colored eye things in her eyeballs. Contacts, yeah, that. Weave down to her butt.
Okay.
As if she was a horse.
That's insulting. Why?
Because it could have been, natural.
It was not natural.
Oh, it was
trust. It was not.
So it came from the horse.
Yeah. It had to.
Her intentions about what she was doing was real.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
She really
maybe
she
to wear
really
that
meant
stuff.
To wear that.
Yes.
She really felt that's how she felt best. It was
right.
I think when we talk about everything real, if I listen to everything real, it's the place that it comes from.
Yes.
It's not the people
aesthetics.
and the aesthetics.
So it was okay she had a boob job.
Everything's real. It
ain't real. It's silicone.
Who would have known?
Right.
Everybody
Except somebody
looking.
else coming.
Everybody looking. Because she was too old to be that perky.
Let me tell you, it's brother man. Hold on. It's some over-the-shoulder boulder holders out there these days that holds us upright in the utmost position. Over-the-shoulder boulder holder, the bras. There's some good bras out there. I'm talking about they got like scaffolding under them.
Really?
Oh yes. Oh. I have literally. I'm not gonna tell you who. I know somebody that.
Go ahead. Shout them out. Yeah, go ahead.
My secret is safe with me. I told you it would be, and it shall remain so. So to protect the innocents, I will not disclose their name.
What's her nickname?
But somebody. Fridays. But literally, she had a Victoria's Secret bra, and it pushed like out
up,
and
yep,
up.
and
like it takes your back fat and like brings
transfers
it up.
it.
Yes,
Transfers it.
Absolutely pushed everything up, and even like to the point where she had a little line.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
But on the normal circumstances, when she takes it off,
Fridays. They look like fried eggs.
Wow.
But yes, so
Okay.
there are some.
So back to my point.
Everything real.
Obviously.
That was a real working bra.
So, I understand that, just to go back to what Dr. Bizness has thrown out there, clearly women are going to make themselves up according to what they feel is real to them. So that's what I mean by everything real. So great, she has a boob job, but something in her life caused her or drove her to do that. And that's what I'm getting to, the real behind that. But that's her. That's who she is. So that's her real.
Right.
So all of the psychological trauma in her life and
It was real.
That's real too.
baby daddy drama and
That's definitely real.
unemployment drama and okay. So she had to deal with all of that abuse.
All of that, low self-esteem. Why are you not okay with the fact that you have fried eggs?
Right.
I am. I do, and I love Vicky too. And I love Vicky too. Look, and I love Vicky too. And Vicky does a great job. But I have fried eggs, so it is what it is.
I'm saying.
But I'm not getting a boob job. I love myself the way I am. So.
So why do people get them?
For
Because of
whatever
low self-esteem,
reason.
or-
Not necessarily low self-esteem. Maybe they just want a certain look that they weren't born with. Probably the same reason why people inject their behinds.
And they
Hello,
lips.
and their lips,
And
yes,
they take
and
out their crow's feet with Botox and
right. It's like you were born that way.
thing. I was watching something where we actually went to the International Cheerleaders Conference competition that was here, and the little girls look like midget old women. They look like little old.
That's how R.
Is it
Kelly
because
got,
they were
that's how
made
R.
up?
Kelly
Like,
got
no,
messed
that
up.
is not how R. Kelly got messed up, and we will not say that. That is not. He likes them pure. Hello. So
You
he
look
likes
old.
them pure. Do not do that.
Just because they're 2 feet tall.
No, and you can pick them up with one hand. Walking out the cheerleader camp with a
I
kid.
know, right?
Talking about 3 more days, you'll be old enough.
Right? So do you mean like makeup? They were made up
Everything,
and
like completely, the hair, the makeup, even their attire. And I was sharing with somebody, we were actually talking about like cheerleading moms and dance moms and pageant moms. And they were sharing how, I guess it was one of the Kardashians, their mother started getting cosmetic surgery even as a child. You know, before they were even old enough to determine whether they wanted it or not.
Oh, wow.
In order to get them into that socialite image, you know, that's portrayed. Because I mean, some folks, they just, I guess they're living vicariously through their kids. I didn't get to be a
Then when
pageant
you
queen,
look at it,
so-
you got kids that are getting tattoos and are making up their bodies now. And
But those are the kids. I'm talking about the parents that do that to the
Right.
children. That they like, I don't get to play with Barbies. I have to be a Barbie instead. I don't get
that's
to
not healthy.
determine if I want my nose pointy like Michael Jackson's or spread like Florida Evans. Like, I ain't get a choice.
right, because they did all of that
They did
with no choice.
Right.
But it's not what parents do for the first 18 years of your life. You got 6 kids. Isn't not your responsibility to shape and mold and to train and
Not they
to
knows.
put them into where they need to go, position them correctly?
Well, on the outer, but you know that's God's business to the shape and mold part, you know. But the outer part,
God
like to
uses
teach them.
you.
Yeah, but I don't want to
You are the
overstep my
caretaker.
boundary.
You're the steward of.
She got
Right.
6
You
years.
know.
She shaped and molded their behinds, make sure they
They
act
came
right.
out and
So if you're going to do that, then you might as well take it to the next level.
no, I
Position
wouldn't
them for greatness.
recommend that. No, they were already great. They're born with greatness.
Yeah.
They came out perfect. You know, you just a guidance counselor, pretty much called a
could
parent.
see, right, and I can see if they have like the cleft lip or they have some sort of deformity. A parent being, you know, a provider and
But is that
cultivator,
is that a
assisting them.
deformity? Is that not
If
how
that-
God made them?
So typically, if they need it in order to make sure that they can articulate the words, or if it's something
Right.
that's going to hinder them from being a productive or active part.
No, you got
of
old boy.
society.
What's his name? The singer. He has a lisp. Travis Green.
Travis Green.
But that's because he has a hearing impediment.
Okay, well, once again, as a parent, should we try to get that fixed, or
He did.
that's just him? And
He got a hearing aid. Like, it wasn't like stay deaf. It was a way to support. I'm talking about the unnecessary changes.
but you're
That
saying
doesn't-
unnecessary I'm saying that maybe the parent thought it was necessary.
It was necessary.
Based upon the destiny that they had for their child.
Right, exactly.
Because that's what we prepare our children
That's pretty
for, right?
Yeah, I can see your point.
You put your kid in a suit because you want them to maybe be a
There you go.
businessman or something, or an attorney or whatever. You know, you dress them up. You know, we don't celebrate necessarily Halloween and the ghosts and goblins and stuff, but sometimes children will dress up into what their destiny is and what you want them to turn into. And as parents, is that not what we're called to do?
Right. To a certain extent.
Yes, I agree to a certain extent.
Plastic surgery for all the children of the world.
Is your child ugly? Are they aesthetically challenged? Try Exerta cream. Continuous applications over the next 3 weeks will solve all deformities.
It's
it
a
may cause
brand.
dizziness, nauseous.
It's literally a t-shirt brand.
You tell will fall off.
I can tell you it's a t-shirt brand.
Literally.
I like how she does that.
They actually had a movie where this woman had this face cream and it sort of made her face look younger. So she was like 90 years old but looked like she was 30 type of thing. And she was the face of the brand, but it makes your face hard. So literally you can like punch her and
She not feel it.
Wow.
she wouldn't feel it, no bruising, no anything. It was like, it was literally like plaster.
Oh,
Yeah. And
I don't need all that.
And that's supposed to be healthy for the skin?
actually, it was Catwoman. The movie was Catwoman.
Oh.
Because she worked
Was it
for
Eartha
the
Kitt?
company. It wasn't. Mm-mm.
Oh.
She worked for the company.
Okay.
Because, you know, black don't crack, so
I
Eartha Kitt
know,
would
I
not
was
need that.
like-
White people would need that.
I was like,
so she
that's
worked-
where I was going.
So Holly
Like,
Berry worked for the company. She had to turn in some reports. So late at night, she wanted to get it on her boss's desk, whatever, and then went down this rabbit hole. And there was this factory of these people showing disfiguration of women because the application created cancer and tumors and deformity and that kind of stuff. But they were trying to cover it up. But they heard a sound. They saw Catwoman, Holly Berry. She went scattering off. They shooting at her. She goes down this drainage, whatever, and then winds up in some sewage, whatever. Some cat blows in her mouth, and now she Catwoman.
Okay.
But that was the movie. So,
yeah,
see?
all of that for some face cream.
That's right. So you never know where your destiny will lead you.
Very true.
So sometimes you find yourself in predicaments and circumstances that all of a sudden will transform you into that which you're supposed to be.
If you find yourself in a sewer, maybe in a crawl space under a home, maybe you're trapped in the subway with no way out, don't worry, destiny's right around the corner. It's just a flush away.
And that's exactly what Joel Osteen would say. That's
You
exactly.
find yourself
Exactly. That.
feeling trapped, literally. Just hang in there. Don't give up. It's part of your destiny, friends.
Oh my goodness.
Look at your neighbor and say, I'm not flushed.
I'm not flushed.
I'm headed for
I'm
destiny.
headed for destiny.
Okay? You gotta have that
If
face.
you feel any cramp or tension on your way to destiny, come and let me massage you.
It's gonna be all right.
And we'll give you an Exerta shirt to show that you can do it. It's got a strong heartbeat. Just won't let you quit.
Absolutely.
So, the real,
Marketing.
in its finest form, what is probably the realest thing I or we could find out about Miss May?
The realest
The
thing.
realest thing.
I mean, everything is real. The realest thing. I would say it took me quite a bit to get to where I am now with understanding my worth as a woman.
Okay.
That's probably the realest.
You were undervalued and accepted it?
Yes. Can't say that it was something that I went through at an early age. I lost my mom at a very early age. So, and then my father got remarried. And I love my parents together to this day. But that brought a void at an early age because I just didn't have a biological, my biological parent. And so it wasn't dealt with probably the way I would say it should have when a child is that young and they kind of have questions as to, who their mom is and where they come from and why they laugh that way. And obviously I look different than my stepmother, right? Because I look like my mother and things of that nature. So
did you stay with your dad?
Yes.
Your stepmom white?
No, she's African American.
Okay, well, you said you look
She's
like
black from
her. I was
Brooklyn,
like,
honey.
okay.
But she's a little lighter. She's short. I'm tall, slender, just like my mom, things of that nature. So just the conversation wasn't much. It wasn't happening in the household as far as ensuring that me as a child was dealing and coping with the loss of a mother. So again, he got remarried and that was great. I had another female in the home that was taking care of me, but she's still not my mom, right? So, and we know that. We clearly know that. So,
But isn't that like preferred? Because now y'all can be best buds and stuff. Because isn't that how women raise their children now, as best friends and the new age, the new women?
The new age, maybe,
Right.
but I was born in '80, so that's not how that was going down.
Because like nowadays,
It's like, do what I say.
we're
Okay, and that
best
is what I do.
friends.
It's
We
one of
go to
those.
the club together. Wearing
okay.
the same mini
And we-
skirts and whatnot. And it's like, so who's the
Your
mom and
mom
who's
come
the
in, can I
child?
use your tube top?
No, that was not the case.
That wasn't
And
okay.
again, she's lovely and I'm slender, so we have very different features to begin with. Okay, so
Lovely.
lovely.
I like that.
I'm slender. So anyway, but what I would say is, so for me, I taught myself how to deal with the fact that I didn't have a biological mother. Again, not saying that I don't appreciate my stepmom, who I call my mom. We don't even do step in my household, but just there's things about you that you don't get from that person. So you just try to deal with it on your own. And so it just took me down a path where at one point I just felt like, who am I really? Because growing up with somebody else, my mother's a lot of personality, right? So people don't know her, but Pastor Latham, she's definitely a lot of personality.
Right.
And so she would try to instill the right things, like you're beautiful, you're this, love yourself, because she's a very, very, very into herself and confident and things of that nature. But it wasn't the same, when you go, like they come to a show, if I'm in school or something, people clearly can see. So my mother, we're a blended family, things of that nature. So it's kind of like, and then other people, so I was born and raised in New York, and a lot of people in New York knew my biological mother. So it's also a little difficult when you're born and raised in a place who knows your mother and then know your stepmother. And it's always a reminder. So, it's, people would be mean and say things and you're like, what? Okay, where did that come from? But they know that my mother is currently now my stepmother. So they would be spiteful and mean and things of that nature. So
awful.
it is like, you just imagine
Especially
just being
as a child. Like, what is the point?
Like, why would you say that? Exactly.
Right.
So different things would
Keeping it
happen. Okay, but I mean, I'm the child. You got a problem with the adult. You're an adult. You have a problem with an adult. You take it up with the adult, but you don't say it to the child. So they would be just catty stuff that would happen in my neighborhood because, again, they knew my biological mother and then my stepmother. So things like that. So just me identifying who I was as a person and really accepting that it's okay to be this way. It's okay to be different. So as a kid, I was very skinny. So I was called, like chicken chow mein and olive oil, and I was tiny.
Olive oil.
Tiny.
Mom, they call her olive oil too.
Right, so I was teased, and then it doesn't help that I was bald-headed for a point in time in my life. My hair didn't grow like that, so I didn't have the pretty hair like other people going to school. And then, of course, when you go through adolescence, you still don't, I was underdeveloped, so I didn't have a body like everybody else. So I just got picked and teased on. And so it just, after a while, I was just like, okay. So about my mid-20s, that's when I said, okay, something has got to give, because then you realize that you just take anything that anybody give you because you want to be accepted, or you want the friend, or you want the boyfriend because, you just want to be accepted. And by my mid-20s, that's when I realized, okay, I know I wasn't raised like, something's not working. I wasn't raised like this, and there's got to be more to me. And I already know I'm smart and things of that nature, but when I looked in the mirror, I didn't always feel that way. So I struggled. I went through my little period, and I did a lot of praying and soul seeking and therapy. And then after a while, I got some confidence, and now I don't take nothing from nobody.
No, that's right.
At all. Not a child, not a baby. Look, I'm that serious. Not an animal. I don't take nothing from nobody. Not an animal. you got to get in line too.
You barking at me?
Okay, why? I'm that person, but it took me a long time, and it's amazing because, like I said, my mother really tried to instill the confidence at a younger age, but I always saw what I didn't have or what I wasn't, as opposed to what was already there.
So on the Profit and Growth Hour, we always like to make sure that we share learning experiences so that your tomorrow will be better than your today. So if you find yourself in a divorce situation, what do you mean? If you find yourself in a divorce situation and you are looking to remarry, please take into consideration the physical features of the person that you're looking to marry to make sure that they resemble the child that you have, so that the child does not grow up traumatized because she doesn't look like the mom. So take that into consideration when you remarry, because it will help the child and their state of being as they grow old.
I love you, but my ex-husband, he was far more lovely than you. So we can't be together. My heart is telling me yes, but your body is telling me no. Sorry. I don't want my child to be traumatized. So
Exactly.
go with God.
Or we can just be friends. You're tuned in to the Profit and Growth Hour here on WDRB Media, the voice
Of the community. You know, hilarious. That is not the
I knew he was going to go left. It was a gentle
Well, that's
left.
the lesson. That's